trying to ask me like a question to escape from the point.
I'm trying to show you that it's a malformed
she's like
question.
absolutely locked in. Okay, respond to the question.
Oh, now who's angry? Who's angry?
I'm not angry. Like, I'm just telling you to listen to the point that I raised.
Okay.
So Raise, just double check like you're actually tracking. What was the point that I brought up, sir?
It would be a malformed question. Because to me, things don't exist in reality just because people claim them to exist in reality. So if you're claiming that unicorns exist in reality, that's not automatically true.
I'm trying to clarify the distinction what he means between correspondence and epistemology, because obviously, like, he's like, he's not being coherent right now. He's not being rational. So I'm trying to like double check, right? So what I'm saying, right, is
oh
my gosh, like he's failing.
It's already a malformed question.
He's already failing, right?
Because things don't exist in reality just because people claim them.
I'll repeat the point. If he just doesn't listen, I feel like someone else could like you talk to this like absolutely buffoon because he's not responding to the question. So I'm saying, right, like what I'm asking about when I say like obviously like what in reality corresponds like to the idea that
therefore you just claiming it.
What I'm not asking is like how we know like this certain statement, this certain proposition is like true. What epistemology justifies it, right? But what I'm actually asking is what makes this statement to be true. So I'll repeat the question I asked previously back to you, because obviously you're so lost in the source. So the question is, right, I asked previously, what specific fact within the reality statement observed makes a negative statement true? So if you have an example, right, I'm saying what in the world corresponds to the statement unicorns do not exist, right? So I'm not asking how we know this to be, false or true, right? I'm asking what fact corresponds to the statement being true. I'm asking how we know it. I'm asking what fact can we observe makes this, not to be, obviously not true.
People have imaginations. People's imaginations don't exist out in reality. Therefore, what their content of their imaginations don't exist out in reality. Therefore, it is in the realm of fiction, not nonfiction.
Okay.
So when we say fiction, we're saying it doesn't exist in reality. So unicorns are said to be in fiction. So if we're talking about fiction, then therefore it is not in reality, which would make it the case that it is not true in reality, right?
Okay. Are we guys like understand this guy's like this guy's already lost again, right? So there's two different propositions that we can observe, right? He's obviously saying the first proposition was that unicorns don't exist, and now he's saying unicorns do not exist in external reality.
On what you mean by exist, and if you're talking about fiction and nonfiction.
Okay. Raise it. Like sure, that's fine, right? I agree. Like unicorns exist as mental these constructs as mental concepts. But what makes it true that there are no mind-independent unicorns, sir? He's lost. He's stumbled.
Dude, shut up. Unlocked.
LOL. Holy fuck, dude! Like people can't talk.
Bro, just respond, bro. Like stop looking at ChatGPT.
Like I literally said 2 words. And then you just said I'm lost. Do you not see how dishonest that is?
Can we like get to the argument now, sir? Like we stop like.
Do you know what I was gonna say? And why are you laughing?
Just go ahead, bro. Just go ahead. Like this isn't like an argument. This is a rhetorical.
The referent actually existing in reality makes it true if we're talking about reality. But if we're not talking about reality, when we're not talking about reality, it depends on the subject matter in which we're talking about. That's what I literally said by theory of truth is the property of propositions that correspond to the subject matter in which we're talking about. Are you talking about fiction or nonfiction?
Okay. I feel like I have to keep saying this, right?
If it is fiction, then it is true by definition because fiction doesn't exist out in reality. Awesome.
Is a lack
there you go.
So is the lack of unicorns itself make something real, or is it nothing?
It's so funny.
Say the question again.
So is that lack of unicorns itself making something real, or is it just nothing?
No, it depends on the subject matter which we're talking about.
Depends on the subject matter. Like, do you understand the question I'm asking?
Are you saying something fictional or non-fictional?
So I'm not making a claim. I'm asking a question. I think there's difference.
Okay, well, you are making a claim. You're saying unicorns. I don't know the reference you're talking about.
You have to make a distinction between something purely fictional, like a unicorn, and something that you observe in reality. And that sticks in your imagination. I'm talking about a tree that I just saw.
Okay. So
it's not the same as talking about a unicorn.
Okay. Anyways, right. It's like when I'm saying like the word like unicorn, right? We have to.
Do you hear him? He goes, well, anyways, because he can't deal with it.
Wait, like you.
That's what. That really. That's my position.
Okay.
I have to know what you're talking about. That is.
I just said anyways to like talk about his point, right? So I'll get back to it, right? So when we refer to unicorn, the concept would just be the idea of like a horse-like creature with a single horn.
Because you realize that it's a problem in your view. Great.
Wait, what?
You're trying to hand wave away what he just said because he just said the position correctly.
Okay, guys. I feel like I've just like told him what I define a unicorn to be, and I feel like he's just like failing to understand it. So
it removes the unicorn question.
Yeah,
what makes X that corresponds to reality
intellectually
true?
honest.
And X could be any concept. What makes X or any concept correspond to reality true?
The description about X.
He's lost his ChatGPT. Give him seconds.
We're talking about. No, I'm not talking about Jet. What are you talking about? I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you're stuttering because like you're asking ChatGPT right now.
I am literally pushed to talk.
Okay, then talk. Stop yapping.
Okay, then shut the fuck up for a second.
That's not very nice. He's so aggressive. Like he's getting.
Oh no, he wasn't nice to me. Oh.
This isn't rhetorical. Just answer the question.
Again, it matters. It matters in the subject in which we're talking about. If we're talking about fiction or nonfiction, if we're talking about nonfiction, then truth is a property of propositions. Does what's being described correspond to the referent out in reality? That's what makes something true.
What makes that reference true?
Nonfiction.
What makes that reference true? What makes that reference true?
It just is. That's a nonsensical question.
What makes that referent true?
It's a nonsensical question.
It's a nonsensical question. Oh, okay. So the realness of something is
the referent is right.
The referent is okay. Well, what's the basis for that? What's the basis for that?
Reality itself, that things exist mind independently. It just is.
Okay, so there's something mind independently.
My description about it has no bearing on the existence of it whatsoever.
Would you justify that factually? No, hold on.
What makes something true is my description
about. Can you justify that factually? Yeah. Can you justify that factually?
No, meta. Just bring up the epiphenomenal relationship.
Wait, hold on, guys. Can we just give him a second? Because he's looking up ChatGPT right now. We need to get it. We need to get his evidence ChatGPT. Give me a second, guys.
He's booted up. It's still loading.
Launch the non-particle now.
See. He's trying to stall with responding well, how am I doing ChatGPT right? So you can send response to questions. So just let it boot up, guys.
I'm literally pushed to talk, dude.
Yeah, we're asking. You haven't responded to the question. That's the point.
Like you keep saying.
Stop stalling! Stop stalling!
What the fuck are you even talking about?
Razor, stop stalling.
What makes that?
I'm not stalling at all. Like you don't even give a person a second to talk. You literally say something and then a second later, look how he's pausing. He's not even answering. Like wait a second, dude. I have to push the button.
So angry. Okay.
I have to fucking listen to what's being said.
Can I
three
cut in for
people
a second,
talking to me at one
really
fucking time?
He's busy crashing
Not
out right
only
now.
that, but it's also distracting that you're fucking talking over me.
Alhamdulillah.
What are you guys doing?
Bro, so basically so Razor's getting so angry, so we're trying to promote obviously some anger management classes for Razor. So this is what we don't want to be, guys. We don't want to be like Razor where he starts crashing out over Discord. Because he fails to understand correspondence theory of truth. So obviously we should try and calm our senses down like Razor. Instead of asking ChatGPT for answers, we should study this topic. Isn't that right, Razor? Oh, he's gone hush mode because he's asking ChatGPT how to respond. Okay.
So Razor, does
please prove I'm using ChatGPT. Go right ahead. Please prove I'm using ChatGPT. Go ahead.
It's a joke, you dickhead.
You can't fucking do it, right? You can't say I'm not.
Prove I'm using ChatGPT. So
ChatGPT is literally a
joke.
I feel this guy's not understanding. Okay, hold on, Razor.
I try to analyze what somebody's being said, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to actively listen to what is being said to me. Unlike you, right?
Okay.
Who is very, very intellectually dishonest.
Okay, Razor. Okay, hold on. We can do this, Razor. Razor, do me a favor. Screen share your full screen right now.
Still a conversation.
Yeah, it's still a conversation, don't worry. So obviously we were trying to ask him the question, but he wasn't responding. So I was trying to get a response out of him. But Razor, we can go into the Ephesians chapter 2 right now, or we can go into it later. But once you ask a Mental's question, it's fine. Okay. We're asking you to screen share, not take a picture of your screen. I think you're lost in the source, like you're lost in ChatGPT.
Razor, can I ask you a question? Like, if I have the form of a unicorn on my daughter's backpack, does that correspond to the concept of a unicorn, even if it's fictional? And like, does that make it any less true that in reality? Given the fact that like the relationship here would be epiphenomenal, I don't see any reason to discount the reality that the unicorn exist, but we're just describing how it exists alternatively, right? So you're locating it as though if it's externalized, that it can't be real somehow, and yet there is a remnant unicorn that is that refers to the concept which arose epiphenomenally. So I would think that would correspond.
Hold on. But it depends on what is. So it depends on the context in what's being claimed here, like the actual details of being claimed, right? I agree that it becomes the details. Details are what matter, right? But what makes something a fact is, or I would say in this case, is facts are what are truth claims that correspond to reality, right? Those are facts. So therefore, I mean, if it has to do with reality, that you say is that, do unicorns exist out in reality? Well, it might be the case that we have to determine what you exactly mean by that.
Right. So if I hold the concept of a unicorn firmly in my mind, that would imply that it is true because the definition of truth is firmness. And then if I manifest a unicorn, which is the form of a unicorn externally, right, in reality, that does correspond. So that's how I could mean. So regardless if it was fiction, it is a fact.
Correct. I would say we would be talking past each other if I didn't understand that. We'd be talking past each other, which would mean more that we need to be very clear on what we mean.
Does every truth Okay. Razor, does every true proposition require a distinct truth maker in reality? Yes or no? I want a yes or no first before you continue. No.
I literally said it depends on the subject matter in which we're talking about. So if something is an analytic truth, it obviously is true by definition. Who cares? Like I literally said that the subject matter in which we're talking about. If we're talking about analytic truth, then it is obviously true by definition.
Okay. So do you reject the truth maker?
That's why I added. This is why I add when it comes to my version of truth. This is why I add to the subject matter in which we're talking about.
Okay. So, are you like reject? So, I just want to answer obviously like the first one, the second one. So, do you like reject the truth maker principle altogether, or do you just like think that some truths are ungrounded?
No, I'm just saying is I don't reject it off the bat. It depends on the subject matter in which we're talking about. So if we're talking about a referent out in reality, what makes that thing true is that the referent actually out in reality. And the proposition.
Wait, repeat the first part.
But it depends. Like I said, it depends on the subject matter in which we're talking about. That's the first thing I said. It depends on the subject matter in which we're talking about. Are you talking about fiction or nonfiction? Right? We're trying to be very clear. We're not trying to be ambiguous here, which it seems like you in the realm you want to be in. You want to be in ambiguous state. And try to get a gotcha with something ambiguous.
So Razor, what determines which subject matters require like truth makers and which don't, sir?
It depends on the claim being made, the person making the claim, and what they mean by it. And then we can determine what subject matter, what they're talking about, and all this stuff. I guess the crux of it is in the details, right?
Wait, like again, like
what makes reality true?
I think it's important to just to understand. Do you mean that the truth maker depends on the type of claim, or the nature of truth itself changes depending on the claim?
Yes, the nature of truth changes based on the subject matter in which we're talking about. If we're talking about fictional things, right, we're going to grant a whole lot more than non-fictional things. The truth maker of non-fictional things it could be just true by definition.
Okay, so if the nature of truth changes across all domains, what kind of unifies them under the concept? Razor, I haven't even said the question, right? So if the nature of truth changes across all domains, right, what unifies this specific thing under the concept of truth, rather than giving us multiple unrelated properties, sir?
We just agree upon what truth means.
That isn't correspondence theory of truth. That's coherence.
But
blunder.
Thing is we have to agree upon the same. We have to agree upon the same language, right? That we're using to understand the words we're talking when we communicate with one another. It's another one of those words we agree upon. So if we agree upon what we're talking about, then we can move forward in the conversation.
Okay.
It's like asking what grounds the meaning of the.
Okay.
It actually grounds that, right? That's what type of question you're trying to ask me here.
Okay, Razor,
but you don't actually have an answer to that either. It's just an agreed upon what we mean by it, right?
Okay, Razor. The question I'm asking you then, is around about 3,000 years ago or so. Was the Earth flat before people agreed it was round?
Was it flat until? I know people claimed it was flat.
That's not what I asked. I said, was the Earth flat before people agreed it was round?
No, because I'm using my knowledge now that it wasn't flat. We gain knowledge all the time, right? Things can be true now and false later, right? Based on the new evidence we have. That's why I say from our perspective, because from our perspective, we only have limited amount of data. So that's literally why I added. This is literally why I added truth, and then from our perspective.
Okay, guys. I want you guys to pay attention very carefully, right? So now he's done this already. This is his third, fourth, fifth time doing this, right? What I'm not asking is about your epistemology and what you know. I'm asking what made the statement true before anyone knew it. So what truth is, right? Is according to you, whether a statement matches reality. What knowledge is just a JTB, right? What a belief is just what something thinks, right? So what I'm going to ask you again, was the Earth spherical before humans had knowledge of that fact? Yes or no?
That statement is true.
Okay, so the truth is independent of human knowledge, yes?
Yes.
That truth is. Hold on. Say that question again.
Oh my gosh! He's so lost.
I'm just asked for you to rephrase it or
Be honest with him. Don't ridicule him.
I thought I asked it very clearly.
Why was that a big deal? Hold on. I just asked you to just re-ask the question. Okay. Is that a big deal?
Okay. The question is, right, was the Earth spherical before humans had knowledge of that fact?
That statement is true.
Okay, right. So that's my whole point entirely, right? What it does show, right, is that truth does not depend on our agreement or knowledge. Truth exists independently of belief, knowledge, and even consensus, right? And so even if everyone in the world had obviously the belief that the Earth was flat, right? The statement the Earth is spherical would still, would it still have been true?
The statement is true. Right? That's what's being said here, is the statement is being true. Does it require a mind to create the statement?
Oh my god. This is fucked, dude.
Does it require a mind to make that statement?
Does it require a mind to make the statement?
Okay, again, right? So wait, I'm gonna respond to the. I'm gonna. Okay, hold on.
You asked me questions. You asked me fucking questions, and I answer them, right?
Okay.
But so far, I've asked you two separate questions.
Wait, I'm trying to respond. Okay. Razor. Calm down. Right. So, according to your own belief system, no, a statement being true does not require a mind, dumb fuck.
Answer the question. I'm just going to turn you down then.
I've just answered the question, you dumb fuck.
Answer the question directly.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Hold on.
He's asking ChatGPT to make a question for him.
You want to call me? Based on your own.
Let's review real quick.
Let's review real quick. So allegedly,
truth is that which corresponds to reality, and then we fit in the last bit. Where do we fit that in?
What, the question that I asked? The question that he asked?
His answer.
Oh, are you in his answer?
Are you going to answer the question? Does it require a mind to make the statement?
Out like correspondence theory and like he agreed
that
like
that which corresponds to reality. Okay, Hunt. So I'll get in a minute, right? But what I'm trying to
does it require a mind to make a statement? Okay, does it require a mind to make a statement?
He's so angry.
See, this is why he's dishonest, because he doesn't want to answer questions.
Okay.
Does it require a mind to make a statement?
Okay. Right. So, bro, what is he?
You didn't hear my question? I
heard his question. Okay, Ruin. I'll just respond to the point, right? So he said the nature of truth itself changes depending on the kind of claim that is being made, right?
And so about the subject matter.
That's the question I asked, kind of. And he just responded by saying we just agree upon truth. The people agree upon truth, right? And so that like kind of like switched into a coherence theory of truth. So eventually we just got down to the point of like me asking, right, was the Earth like spherical before humans had knowledge of the fact?
Because I don't think you're actively listening.
Yes.
We're gonna need the tiebreaker.
I just said, exactly, right. So what this kind of like shows to us, right, is that like what truth is. It doesn't depend on like our agreement on knowledge of something, right? But truth exists independently of belief, consensus.
The only
what we have knowledge of, right? So I just said, so even if anyone in the world thought the Earth was flat, the statement the Earth is spherical would still be true. He said yes, right? And so he asked me, does it require a mind to make a statement, which is the question now, right? So obviously, what I would respond to is like, under even his own belief system, no, because a statement being true does not require a mind to make it or even know it. Because here's an example, right? If we ask, as he said previously,
yes, it does.
For example, the question I asked earlier, which is the Earth spherical or round, obviously flat, right? If correspondence theory is true, right, then it'd be true before humans existed, and true even if no one ever knew about it or even thought about it.
Correspondence has to do with propositions corresponding to whatever the subject matter is. So
bro, we already caught you out as a fraud. It's okay.
Yes, Razor. What he's trying to prompt you to do is
the position. Yet again,
Razor, he's trying to get you to provide or to refer the truth, or the tiebreaker with respect to truth. So, if the world was always round and it just wasn't known in the mind of man, then what is it that what is the tiebreaker here that determines truth?
Like I said, it depends on. Like I said, truth is the property of propositions or statements, right? It's property of statements that correspond to the subject matter in which we're talking about.
So basically,
hold on a second. Hold on. From our perspective. So if the statement was, let's say we had no clue that the Earth was round whatsoever, right? Let's say we have zero idea that it is round. That is not even knowledgeable, right? That then the statement says, oh, the Earth is flat, right? Meaning that it just goes on straight. I would say is, according to them, that statement is true from their perspective because that's all they.
Okay, guys. Now, like I've already shared this previously multiple times. This guy's a fraud, right? I've already responded to this point literally 5 times and got him to agree that the truth of the claim the Earth is round is not going to be true depending on the belief system at the time. This is just coherence theory. It's not correspondence theory. That's why, hold on. That's why ChatGPT is failing you right now, Razor. Because you're lost in the source.
I'm not even using Razor. Why do you keep insisting that I am?
Razor, look, I'll ignore the rhetoric, but listen, so coming full circle, right? Does this not imply then, right? Working from what you agree upon, is the roundness of Earth a mind independent fact? Yes or no?
The shape of the Earth, it is what it is.
A mind independent fact.
No, I wouldn't say it's a fact. It is what it is.
Is it a mind? Is it okay? Is the truth of the matter mind independent?
No, you keep using the word truth, right? Which is the problem. Truth and fact have to do with one another, in my view. I don't make the statement. I don't make the statement. I don't make the statements. Hold on. I do not make the statements truth or fact about something that we don't know.
Oh, okay. So then mind independent facts exist.
So what I'm saying is that I don't use those terms in that case. Facts have to do with statements. Same thing with truth has to do with statements, right? So does the thing exist? Hold on a second. Does the thing exist? Does the thing exist in reality, independent of what we think about it? Of course.
Facts have to do with
okay,
statement.
so then it's a mind independent. So it's mind independent.
It's not subjective. It's objective. It's like this guy doesn't believe in objectivity at all.
I never said it's not objective.
No, I think he actually, it's the other way around. I think he's inferring objectivity, but then how does that correspond to the subject?
Wait, actually, I just have a question.
Yeah, that there is the objective out there, that things exist mind independent of me, right?
Okay.
But I can't make truth statements or fact statements until I perceive the thing, right? Or if it has to do with reality.
Right.
Okay. So if mind independent facts do not exist, then prior to the existence of conscious beings, was the statement "stars emit light" true or false? So, like, I want you to answer: is it false or is it true? Then you can elaborate. So, I'll ask again, just like just to get the question through your head, right? If mind independent facts, so these facts which are obviously independent of the mind, do not exist, then prior to the existence of these conscious beings, humans, was the statement "stars emit light" true or false? Is he like asking ChatGPT? Like, I'm not like I can't hear him right now.
Razor, did you hear?
No, he got lost in the source. He's waiting for an answer to be generated.
Maybe he just wants to belong. Maybe it's okay.
No, I'm sorry.
Maybe
No. Hold on. I'm sorry. I some people get busy. I had something to do.
That's okay. That's okay, brother. So the question.
Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back. My wife is calling me. Hold on.
Okay. Whilst his wife's calling him,
I can answer for him.
I mean, like, if you'd like to, you can answer for him. So, like, do you remember the question I asked?
Yeah, I used to be an atheist, so I know exactly where he's coming from, and that's why I asked him, like, well, how do you understand like something to be mind independent in regards to the nature of truth? That's why I asked him about is the truth itself falsifiable, and he immediately said no. And I said, okay, great. So that means that your falsification type of criterion is in null and void.
I'm still
based on what he said.
I'm still waiting for him to answer.
So hard,
I'm still waiting for him to answer your question. To give an example of like what a mind independent fact would be.
Well, he already conceded that part like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
ago,
of course. Like the thing is, right, is like he tried to show that like he tried to show that like sorry. He tried to show like obviously like the truth is dependent on obviously human minds, right? But I asked him like obviously prior to human existence, would the Earth be spherical or would it be obviously just flat, right? When they believed it was flat, and he said it would still be spherical. So truth doesn't depend on like a set of persons or their belief system. It depends on like obviously according to him, as he said previously.
So then that means that the truth doesn't correspond to the reality.
Yeah, exactly. He just contradicted himself, man.
Yeah,
so
I
lost.